Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news. There's some serious buzz swirling around the Giants right now, and it's got to do with a potential blockbuster move that could reshape the team's defensive line and honestly shift the entire balance of power in the NFC East. Rumors are flying that New York is in talks to acquire Christian Wilkins from the Las Vegas Raiders, and if this deal goes through, it could be a game changer for the Giants' defense and their chances of contending in 2024 and beyond. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Christian Wilkins? Isn't he a bit older? Well, yes, Wilkins is 30 years old, but don't let that fool you. He's still in his prime, and his production on the field has been nothing short of impressive. Especially when you look at his 2025 projection, which shows him still operating at a very high level. Last season, Wilkins tallied 10 sacks, which is huge for a defensive tackle, along with 27 quarterback hits. His pass rush grades from PFF are outstanding, sitting at 91. 0 in the run game, putting him in the top 3 among interior defensive linemen. That's the kind of disruption every defense dreams of, and it's exactly what the Giants need to elevate their pass rush and run defense. Speaking of run defense, Wilkins is a beast against the ground game. Last year, he recorded 58 tackles, with 16 for loss, and his pressure rate is around 0. 39 per snap. That's elite production for a DT, especially considering he's also responsible for collapsing pockets and creating chaos in the backfield. He forced 5 fumbles last season, showing his ability to turn plays around, and even with a shoulder injury in Week 8 that caused him to miss a game, his overall impact was still significant. When you look at his career stats, 50 sacks in 120 games, 350 tackles, and an EPA run of plus 0.24, Wilkins has proven he can be one of the league's dominant interior pass rushers for years. It's worth noting that the Raiders are currently sitting at 6-7, fighting to stay afloat in a competitive AFC West. Their cap situation is tight, just $9 million in cap space, and with a $23 million hit due to dead money, they're focusing on clearing cap to make moves at quarterback and secondary positions. The Raiders want to free up around $16 million to make upgrades, especially since their defense is giving up 28 points per game, which is not good enough for a team with playoff ambitions. Trading Wilkins, a proven disruptive force, makes sense from their perspective if they can recoup a third-round pick and some additional depth along the interior line. Now that's where it gets interesting for the Giants. They've got about $30 million in cap space, which they can use to make strategic moves without sacrificing their flexibility. Adding Wilkins to a defensive line already anchored by Dexter Lawrence, who had 9 sacks in 2025 and a PFF grade of 89.3, would instantly upgrade the pass rush and run defense. It's a perfect match. Wilkins and Lawrence could form a dominant duo, forcing offenses to double team and slide protection, opening up opportunities for blitzes and coverage. The projection for the Giants' defense with Wilkins is pretty eye-opening. Analysts are estimating that their interior line could see around 50 run stops, up from 32 last year, with a 22% increase in run EPA. That's a massive boost and comparable to some of the best interior lines in the league, like the Dolphins' unit in 2024, which Wilkins significantly contributed to, adding over 160 yards stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Not only does this mean fewer yards on the ground for opponents, but it also means the Giants could better control the game clock, keep their defense fresh, and reduce the explosive plays that have haunted them in recent seasons. Yards per carry could see a dramatic drop from 4.8 to around 3.7, which is a huge difference. Plus, with Wilkins adding to the pass rush, the team's overall pressure rate could jump by 17%, making it harder for quarterbacks to get comfortable. Raheem Nunez-Roches, who's been quietly effective with a PFF grade of 83. 8 would complement this interior push, giving the Giants a front that resembles some of the best defenses from the 2010s Panthers. Physical, relentless, and tough against both the run and the pass. From a strategic standpoint, Acquiring Wilkins could boost the Giants' Super Bowl odds significantly. Right now, they're sitting at around plus 20-0, but with Wilkins on board, some projections suggest those odds could improve to plus 9,500. That's a 12% increase in winning probability, and it's not just about individual stats. It's about the entire team's identity shifting towards resilience and dominance. Wilkins would be the anchor in a defense built to take on the best offenses in the league, especially against power runs like those from the Cowboys or other NFC contenders. This move also sends a clear message to the NFC East and the rest of the league. The Giants are serious about contending. They're not just building for the future. They're making moves that could turn them into instant contenders. The combination of Wilkins and Lawrence would be a nightmare for offenses, forcing teams to rethink their game plans and opening up opportunities for the Giants, secondary and linebackers to thrive. It's about creating a front that's impossible to run against, impossible to pass through comfortably, and impossible to ignore when it comes to pressure and disruption. Looking back at recent history, the Giants have been in a bit of a rebuild phase, but this potential acquisition signals a shift towards a more aggressive, championship-oriented mindset. With the NFC East being one of the most competitive divisions in football, every move counts, and adding a player like Wilkins could be the piece that pushes the Giants over the top. It's about establishing their identity as a tough, physical team that can grind out wins, especially in close games and against divisional rivals who like to run the ball. Of course, nothing is official yet, but the signs point toward a serious push. The Giants know they have the cap space and the need for interior disruption, and Wilkins fits their mold perfectly. If they pull this off, expect the entire division to take notice. The Giants will be a team to watch in the second half of the season, especially if they can get Wilkins integrated quickly and start making those game-changing plays on defense. It's a move that could define their season and set the tone for years to come, positioning them as true NFC contenders with a defense that's built to dominate. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to US and TO, the New York Giants. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news.